let's make a bobble. A bobble is a big chunky ball of stitches that takes place just in one stitch, usually in the center. Like, you can use them for buttons or whatever, or on scarves. So we're gonna basically make a lot of stitches in one stitch here, and then decrease them back down. I'm gonna show you how to do that. There are like 3 different ways to make bobbles. Here's the first one. I think they're all pretty easy, but of course I like to slip the first stitch of every row. And let's just knit over to the center of this swatch right here. All right. Okay, into this next stitch, we're gonna increase 4 stitches, and I'm using really pointy needles here. I'm using signature needles, so this is gonna help. All right, so what we're gonna do is knit into this first stitch, and I'll show you American style too, don't worry. All right, let's knit into this first stitch, and right here, instead of taking the stitch off the needle like normal, what we're gonna do is just give ourselves a little bit of room, like that, and then we're gonna do a yarn over. So you see how I'm like pulling the stitches out of the way with my right hand? Okay, a yarn over, then do it again, knit right into the front of that stitch, like that, pull it through. Before you take the stitch off, push these stitches down like that. We're gonna do another yarn over. See how I'm holding it with my fingers, because obviously there's a lot going on here, so I really want to keep it from popping off, like that. And then the very last stitch, we're gonna knit for a 3rd time, knit that stitch, and take everything off onto the right hand needle. So now we have 5 stitches where before there was just 1. So what we're gonna do immediately after is we're going to go backwards. We're gonna knit back across. Or we're gonna purl actually. So let's turn around, and I will show you how to purl backwards as well, because I think it's a lot faster. But let's just do it regular for now. We're gonna purl across all these stitches, because we want this bobble to have some volume. So we're gonna do a few rows of just stockinette just in this bobble. Okay. Alright, just purling, and I will show you American style next. Okay, moving everything down as you go to make it easier, like that. Alright, now we're gonna turn around again. So this is what the pattern means. When it tells you to turn, and you're like in the middle of a row, it's okay, just turn your knitting around. Alright, let's go ahead and knit these stitches one more time. Like that. We're gonna have a nice big bobble here. There we go. Alright, this time I'm gonna show you how to purl backwards, because I'm tired of turning my work. So if you know how to purl backwards, you don't have to turn your work around anymore. So this is what to do if you're knitting continental style. And I have a more detailed video on this, but here's a quick one. Like that. This yarn, let's see, just pull it like that, and then flip the right hand needle over the left hand needle like that, over the new stitch. Oops, I caught something. There we go. Okay, and then take it off. So that's how to purl backwards. Like that. Oops. Just come grab this yarn and pull that through. Purling backwards is pretty fast, but I'm just doing it slow for you here so that you can really see what's going on. And if your friend was sitting across from you, it would look exactly like you were purling from the other side. Alright. So I like this better than turning my work, because I don't have to let go of the yarn at all. Alright, so now we have a few rows. You can see all these extra stitches right here. There's our bobble in progress. Now let's decrease this bobble back down to 1 stitch. And it doesn't really matter how we do that. Let's go ahead and we'll do a slip 1, and then 2 center double decreases. So needle goes into both stitches. There we go. Knit that. And another one. See why I have these sharp needles now? Alright, and then let's see, how do we want to decrease this? Kind of want to make it centered. Here, let's do this. It's okay. Let's do this. Flip this middle stitch over the one on the left, and again. This is going to be the easiest way. There we go. Alright, now when you continue knitting, like let's go back to the rest of our stitches and knit all the way across. I'm going to show you what happens with the bobble. There we go. Knit all the way across, and if you want I will show you. Let's purl backwards again across this row. Well, there's our bobble mostly, but I think once we purl one more time, remember, let's slip the first stitch just to leave a nice edge. No special reason, but leaves a nicer edge. Now you can really see where to go in when we purl backwards. There we go. Alright. And here's our bobble stitch. Just go right in there. Like that. Oops! Purl that. And continuing to purl across. Alright, and I'm going to talk to you about some different options for making bobbles. But let's look and see how this one came out. I haven't made a bobble in a while, so we'll see if I did a good job. I forgot about how fun bobbles were. One of my lovely students in the KnitFreedom forum suggested this video. She went to knitfreedom.com/video suggestions and wrote in and asked me for a bobble video, so you can do the same with something else. Alright, here's our bobble. I think that looks really good. Look how huge that is. And I think you can't really see the fact that it leans to the left over there, because when you look at it, it's going to be like that. So that is a fun little bobble. Alright, let's talk about some different options. That is your basic bobble, and I think those are the directions that you're going to run across in your pattern. And don't worry, most of your patterns are going to say exactly how to make the bobble. It's going to say knit one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, knit one into first stitch or whatever, into next stitch, turn, purl 5, turn, knit 5, turn, purl 5, and then do some kind of decrease where you decrease 5 stitches back into 1. It's going to tell you how to do it. So now you know what that looks like. And I'm just going to keep knitting across, slipping that first stitch, of course. And I'm going to do another bobble for you in a minute, American style. But let's talk about some different options for you. Because sometimes your pattern, instead of calling for a yarn over, it'll ask you to either knit front and back, or knit and purl into the same stitch. And those are just different ways. Let's go back over here. Those are just different ways of increasing. So remember that when you knit into the front and the back of the stitch, or when you knit and purl into the stitch, it's going to be different. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, let's do some American style bobbles. Same thing. Oh, another option for you. So sometimes your bobble isn't going to be this big, right? Sometimes you're going to only increase to like 3 stitches instead of 5. It's always going to be something odd like that, so that it's centered around one middle stitch. But they could just have you do something like knit into the stitch, yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. No, that's what I did. Okay, so just 1 yarn over instead of 2. Right, so that will make a bobble that's 3 stitches, and then if they have you do that, they're probably also going to have you do not so many rows. Just probably like knit, like do the increase, purl back, and then decrease it, so that the bobble's only like 3 rows tall as opposed to 5, like what we have here. So it's going to be a lot smaller, and I can actually show you. I'll show you what a smaller bobble looks like. We'll do it American style and really test my skills here. All right. Let's knit over to the center stitch. When you have an odd number of stitches in your swatch, that's the best way to get to the center stitch, because you just have 1. There it is right there. Alright, let's do this. Let's go knit into the stitch, yarn over, don't take it off, and knit. Oops, what did I do? Okay, we didn't yarn over yet. Knit into the stitch, don't take it off. Let's do a yarn over. See, just like that. And then back into the front of the stitch. Now we've got 3 stitches there instead of 5. Alright, let's purl backwards across those 3. It's going to look like this if you're purling American style. Just wrap it like that towards you and flip it over like that. Alright, next one. You can pinch the tips, come over like this, and through. Alright, last one, purling that one. There we go. Alright. Oh man, that looks like crap. Let's decrease it, see how it looks. I don't think I like this kind. Slip 2, knit 1, pass 2 over. Let's see. That's a tiny little bobble. Ah. There you have it, a smaller bobble. Alright, let's see what it looks like when we... Maybe I judged it too soon. That was definitely unfiltered Liat right there. I want your guys' knitting to look amazing. I'm used to making bigger bobbles like this. I think that they look better, but here's a tiny little 3-stitch bobble. If you're gonna make, sometimes lace patterns will have you do a tiny bobble in the middle of lace pattern. It actually looks really nice. Like, I don't know, I'll give you some links on the video to some patterns that use bobbles. That way you can go practice.